Hello and welcome to Access Sportsnet. Lakers, driven by your Southern California Honda dealers. Chris McGee, Big Game James Worthy, Allie Clifton, Mike Trudell will be handling the post-game duties up north. Lakers fall to 5 games under 500. One of the best games of the year. Actually, they lose a thriller in the Bay Area. Execution down the stretch, though, guys, is what it kind of comes down to. Lakers missed a couple easy ones, a couple easy bunnies there in the lane. I think they missed 10 or 11 free throws. And the 10 offensive rebounds by the Warriors, a couple of those late big game James, led to 21 points.
Yeah, it was one of the better games the Lakers played collectively, and they had opportunities. Some bunny layups right there that AD kind of missed one, and they were really making a valiant effort to try to get some offensive rebounds. It didn't fall their way. They'll look back at this game and they'll look at the free throws. I think they were 22, 33 or something like that. They've been missing a lot of free throws lately. And then down the stretch, the inability to get those loose balls, giving, those second opportunities where Klay Thompson, the ball ended up in his hand on some long, wild rebounds they couldn't collect. They'll look back at that. But overall, I thought that the game was played the way we've been expecting them to play. Our bench, I thought, was really well. I thought the most valuable player of the game tonight was Reeves. He does a lot of great things. Disappointing loss. Free throws and not being able to take care of the ball cost them, but much improved from what we've been seeing.
And Allie, before you jump in, because you had mentioned the free throws in the first half, you're the first one that was kind of looking at that stat. The final tally is 22 of 33 for 66%. So.
Yeah, and I think when it comes to these close games, and it comes to, when you break down a game, the little details, the things that you can control, stepping to the free throw line and knocking it down, something that has been a theme and plagued this team all season long, it's hard not to look at that. With that said, I understand that it is a results-driven league. And I understand that at this point, you'd rather see wins no matter how they're coming for this squad. Yeah. But these are losses that that sit a little bit easier with you, because I would argue that this team was more engaged over a 48-minute span than we've seen from them in a long time. A renewed energy and a spirit about them. And I say that because you look at that space in the second quarter, down 15, the resilience to stay in the game. Down 9 in the third, the resilience and commitment to fight back. You take the lead. Obviously, Klay gets hot. That's what you expect from someone like him. But they never let it go. Yeah. And I think that's something that you can hang your hat on, you take into the film room, and you hope builds habits moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of what Rob has sat in that chair and said before when we have fun with the calendar and say those are winnable games. And, he kind of laughs and says, I mean, the Portland game, if you play like this, you win by 20 and we're not having all these talks. But the teams like the Warriors are easy to get up for. Yep. Those ABC games. I mean, I'm glad the Lakers competed. But when you look at when you break down this game, I mean, this is kind of the microcosm of the whole season, right? They only turn the ball over 9 times. They shoot 40% from 3. But then the second chance points, chances to get up, rebounds at the end of the game, they go to the Warriors, they hit threes, 21 second chance points. So you can just so close to putting that complete game together.
And there were like little 2-minute stretches where that happened. They had like a 4-point lead, then all of a sudden Warriors up 1 on a loose ball, or it falls into Klay Thompson's hand. But it's something to build on because I agree with you, Allie. This loss will set a little bit better, but it'll still bite a little bit because they played so hard and they know. If they don't know now what they're capable of against a good team, a Golden State team, who had been lost a couple games themselves, but if they can look at this game and there's still some things they can clean up and play like this, they could be on to possibly, playing some better games.
And, of course, he missed the last one on purpose because he missed the first ones. They were trying to get the offensive rebound. Allie, you said something. We were watching the game there late. I was thinking back to your old Cavs days with the Warriors, and thought you had a little fire. It was funny. We both were saying, though, but, no, we just want to have a win. Like, we wanted a good win for the postgame show, right? You just feel like this team needs that win.
Well, and as we sit here and we talk about the fact that we can say that the Lakers get up for those kinds of teams. The reality is they're 9-18 against teams above 500.
Yeah.
We haven't always seen this kind of style effort approach all season long. But when you're looking across the way and it's against Golden State, who is the 2 seed sitting at the number 2 spot in the entire NBA, this is a good one to kind of measure yourself. Use for yourselves going forward. If we play this way, this is what worked. I thought there were stretches when LeBron was on the bench and AD and Russ had great moments for the team together. Those are the things that you hold on to.
They took the lead with LeBron on the bench.
Yes.
They took the lead with LeBron on the bench, which was impressive. And they got great contributions from guys that were filling in to those roles. The game, do you want to jump in? I thought you had something you were about.
No, I was just looking at. I'm always looking at the assists because I know if the ball is moving. 25 assists, pretty good ball movement, cuts at the right time. But they'll look at this game and they'll say to themselves, we can play, and if we just take care of the basketball and take care of like offensive rebounds, loose balls, just clean up the little things. You remember you used to write a paper and forget to put the date on it, and the teacher would give you a little red mark. They just have to clean up all the little details, and they could be onto something. And I think if they latch on to something and they all believe, which it seemed like tonight, collectively, they all really believed in one another, and they were like communicated and playing like it. So if they could just catch on fire, they could really start something and then come back the second half after All-Star break and, know what happens.
Well, I thought you said it best when you said they walk into the locker room today and they look around and they say, well, this is what we're rolling with. Let's go. The trade deadline is passed. This is our team. Kind of put that behind you and you move on. I've been talking about this for a month. If you watch the standings like I do, which is actually a problem, it's not a good thing. I don't recommend it. But I've been talking about this for a month. If the Lakers can get to that 8 spot, which they're fighting the Clippers for, in Minnesota, and you win that 7-8 game, you're looking at the Warriors in the first round. I think that's what everyone in the NBA wants, because when these two teams meet, it's just a fun game. I mean, the style and the way that the Warriors bring out and everyone that plays them, and it's the same thing when AD and LeBron and Russ and those guys step on the court. Everyone wants to bring their A game for them. That could be a fun series. So I don't want to get ahead of myself, but we saw a little preview tonight. I do want to talk about the Warriors, Allie. Klay Thompson. I mean, I'm so happy he's back in the NBA. We talked about it in the pregame show. I'm a little bummed he picked tonight to have his best night in about 2.5 years. 16 of the Warriors, 22 points in the fourth. Remember, the Lakers held him to just 22. 16 of those were Klay. He was 3 of 4 from 3 in the fourth. He was 6 of 10 in the fourth. He comes away with his season best, 33 points, 12 of 22. If it was against any other team, I would be really happy for him, Allie.
Look, he's just a guy that you just tip your cap to.
Yeah.
I mean, because at the end of the day, we saw on several occasions tonight when there was great defense played on him,
that's what I was
but better
gonna say.
offense. We talk about sometimes just wins. He's a gamer. He's been here and on this stage and in these moments that nothing is new to him. I talked about a couple of times tonight with you, Geeter. It's funny when you see Steph and Klay and LeBron is approaching them defensively, and they just make the right move. They're not forcing up a shot. They're kicking it out. They're making the right play because they've been in situations that they're so accustomed to. And for tonight, Klay, it was just, we've seen it all before kind of moment.
I'll tell you, it doesn't matter if you're a 14-year-old that's injured for the first time and has to miss a tournament on the weekend, or if you're Klay Thompson. Like, no matter the level, how much money he makes, missing all that time and just wanting to be out there to compete because that's all you've ever known, you can just see the joy that he's returned with. Big game. In a moment like this, Mark Jackson kept talking about it. That look in his eye. I've spent a lot of time with this young man. It's there. And he was absolutely right. He was calling for the ball. I mean, they didn't even put Steph back in till 4 minutes left. It was crazy.
Didn't have to.
That's not true.
He's dedicated. When a player gets injured, that really, shows you, his mindset, because he's dedicated to getting back. It's, healthy, and he did. He came back strong, and a couple of those buckets he got, I didn't think he earned